Are you thinking about getting married? Hi, and welcome back to Super Mom Knows Best. I'm Erin. I'm continuing my relationship thoughts. And today I'm going to talk about whether or not you think you have found your person and you're thinking about getting married. I know a lot of people have a hard time with this. They think that piece of paper doesn't matter. They think we'll just live together. Divorce rate is high. It's just easier if we don't complicate things. And while I understand the appeal of all of that, I think there is a way to curve the divorce rate in this way of thinking. Hear me out. A lot of times when you are religious and you're getting ready to get married, you can go through what's called a premarital couples counseling, couple of sessions with the preacher. A lot of people get turned off by this idea, and I understand that because not everybody is religious. But what I'm suggesting has nothing to do with if you're religious or not, because anybody can do this. On our third date, my husband told me he was 100% sure that I was his person, that he was in love, and we were going to get married. I was still not 100% sure, but I was pretty close. He got there first. But once we were both on the same page, we put a couple of rules in place. We did this on our own. Nobody told us. We were not influenced by my parents, his parents, our church, nothing. This was something we decided between the two of us. I knew that if he didn't propose within the first year of being together, it probably wasn't going to happen, and he probably was not too serious about it. Now, I know I can hear you already. Well, we were together 8 years and then we got married and life is fabulous. Good on you. I was not about to do that. I am not about to hang around for somebody for 8 years and letting them figure out life. I am wasting too much time, and I wanted to go ahead and make it official. Now, that was one rule that we had in place. He needed to propose within the first year. Another thing we started doing was quizzing each other. Now, I have told this story before, and a lot of people think we're crazy, but we're going on 20 years together, and it worked just fine. We laid our cards on the table. We didn't play any of these games. We didn't hide who we really were. Keep your true side hidden until they're married and they're trapped. And then they find out your terrible, deep, dark secrets. Nope. We laid it out. Flat. He told me what he was looking for in a forever partner, and I did the same. 100% honesty. 100% communication. Who was going to make the most money? Who's paying the bills? Who's cutting the grass? So who's cooking? Who's cleaning? Who's watching the children? Who's making sure the car gets an oil change? These are important questions to know the answers to. I think a lot of times, especially from a woman's point of view, we're expecting champagne and roses. Just because we're married doesn't mean the romance stops. We should still be getting rose petals on the bed. We should still be getting wonderful dinner reservations every Saturday night and getting dressed up and be dazzled. Life is not a movie. It does not work that way. Go outside and touch grass. You have to talk about what comes after the wedding. Your wedding day is one day. You then have the rest of your lives to make that work, to make that wedding day pay off. You can't assume that your wife is going to do the dishes. You can't assume your husband's going to cut the grass. These things have to be discussed. It is more beneficial to know before you say I do than after. Once he and I figured out who was in charge of what, how this was going to work, how did we need to communicate with one another, then we started quizzing on how we would parent. A lot of people, again, just assume and figure whoever is going to be watching the child, be it one of the parents, grandma, grandpa, or daycare, whoever is watching the child is the one who will determine how the child is parented. Wrong. Thanks for playing. That's not how it works. You have to figure out, okay, the kid makes a bad grade on a test. How do you handle it? Okay, the kid's being bullied at school. What do you do? Okay, the kid won't eat his broccoli. How are we handling that? The kid wants to live on goldfish. You have to get these answers. You have to figure out if you're compatible, if you're on the same page. One of you might want to be the cool, fun, laid back, easygoing parent, while the other one is hovering over them, opening up every little Ziploc bag. You need to see how you're going to work together. How are you going to connect? Because once you make that little person, you're now in charge of the little person. And you have to agree. You have to be on the same page. Otherwise, this is not going to work. And the kid does not need to see you fighting. You need to be a united front. Otherwise, that kid's going to see an opportunity to win, and they will be in charge. You can't let them be the parent in charge. You have to be the parent. I know that's hard. I know that's a crazy and wild idea, to not let your child be in charge and run free. But these are all questions that have to be answered. You can't assume these things. As time has gone on, like I said, we've been together 20 years. We have pretty much been inseparable since the day that we met. And that's what we count as our dating anniversary, is the day that we met. From the day that we met to the day we said I do, we were just shy of a year and a half by a week. So our anniversaries are very close together. So it's 20 years together and almost 19. Not quite there, close. And over time, we have taken the opportunity to do refresher courses. We will find a Bible study that we like on couples, and the two of us will go through it together. We've gone to couples dinners where you kind of do like a therapy thing while you eat, and we've done that. And we've never done this because we were in trouble for a second. We did it to make sure we were still on the same page and we were still going towards the same goals. Because if that is not the case, you're in huge trouble. You know, a lot of people divorce after year 7. It's called the 7-year itch. The next time there's a huge bump in the divorce rate is after the last child graduates from high school, because that child is gone. They're off at college, or they're off doing a job, living in an apartment, doing their own thing. And it's just the two of you again. And people find that they've been so focused and so busy on raising those people that they forgot to focus on each other. If you don't focus on the core of your relationship, it all kind of falls apart. You may love your children and you may have love for your spouse, but if you're not in love, what are you going to do when those sweet, wonderful children leave the nest? What happens to you? Another one of our favorite things that we love to go and do, we go to the Melting Pot. Now, if you don't know what the Melting Pot is, it is a restaurant. It is a fondue restaurant. And it takes 2 to 3 hours to eat a meal there. You have to cook your own food. You have to wait. You have to be patient. And you have a lot of downtime while you're sitting there. So we find it a good opportunity to find a list online of like great first date questions. And we will sit there and we will ask each other. And you just follow them through. You can Google them. They're all over the place. Giant list of first date questions to ask. And we sit there and we go through them just for fun, just for giggles. Again, it's about reconnecting to making sure we're still on the same page and we are still going towards the same goal. I think that's what people forget. They are so focused on that romance in the beginning and getting that ring and saying I do, and then they just expect it to work. Marriage is work, but when you're with a partner that truly loves you, respects you, and trusts you, same as you do for them, the work is just fun. You still have to check in with each other. You still need to make sure, hey, are we okay? Everything good? I know you've been stressed out from work. I know work is your problem, but are we good? Is there anything I can do to help you? I know you're stressed out from dealing with the kids all day. Can I take the kids off your plate so you can go breathe for a minute? Check in. Be there. Be helpful. Go do silly dates. Act like you're on your first date ever and ask questions. Make sure you know who's in charge of what. Don't assume they're cutting the grass for you. Don't assume they're washing the clothes. Ask. Lay your cards on the table. I know it goes against all of those silly play the games. craziness books. The goal is to be successful. The goal is to find your forever person and not break up. So that's my 2 cents for today. I appreciate that you've listened this long. I hope you like what I've had to say. Do me a favor and smash that like button. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, leave me a comment, do all the things. Help my channel grow, and I will see you next time.